mix.
Sure.
Get all in, sink my body down in the river with nothing but my bare skin. Never knew I'd leave it behind. There's no highway like 129.
I'm Glenn Richards, and this is Amplified, showcasing some amazing local artists for your listening pleasure. On this episode, we're going to meet Kyle Keller on guitar and harmonica and vocals. With Where the Pines Touch Heaven, here's Kyle Keller on Amplified.
Way down where the pines touch heaven, there's some folks living in hell. Well, there's too many prayers unanswered, wishes wasted in the well. Well, the promise from the prophets, Lord, I guess they just forgot 'em. And way down here, we fall harder from the bottom. Well, they tore down the old home place, put in the liquor store. Now Daddy won't quit drinking, he'll just keep drinking more. There's a church house on the corner, Lord, it just ain't solved the problem. Way down here, we fall harder from the bottom. Well, there ain't enough money to go around. They're busy sending it off to the killing grounds. There ain't enough money to pay your dues. It only lines the pockets of the precious few. Well, there ain't enough liquor to lead you right. You'll wind up in a ditch in the middle of the night. There ain't enough money to dig your grave, so pray awake tomorrow for another day. There's factories in the city, they say here the water's clean, but they're digging limestone just up the road and pouring poison in the creek. Well, they say war and progress is the only way to guarantee a garden. But way down here, we fall harder from the bottom. Way down here, we fall harder from the bottom. I'll do a song that started out as a poem. This is a poem I wrote for my mother, who a few years ago was diagnosed with stage 4 of a rare endometrial cancer. And she unfortunately passed in November of 2024, but this poem turned into a song, and I would like to do this one for her and for anyone else who's lost their mother. It's a terrible thing. And so this one's named after her middle name, Anne. I call it Anne's Song. Hands are for holding and eyes are for crying, feet are for running and lips are for lying, living's for dying and leaving's for gone, singing is meant for a song, oh, singing is meant for a song. Well, pen is for paper and clouds are for rain. Time is a thief, steals away joy and pain. And old raging rivers ain't meant to slow down. Some reasons ain't meant to be found. Some reasons ain't meant to be found. The summer's for lovers, for waves and the breeze. Fall is for colors and dreaming up dreams. Winter's for fires and writing love songs. Springtime is here, then it's gone. Oh, springtime is here, then it's gone. Well, the garden's for growing, the wind's for the storm. Friends help forgetting the pain we've endured. And mothers give love that a son only knows, and reminds us we'll find our way home. It reminds us we'll find our way home. It reminds us we'll find our way home. As Glenn said, my name's Kyle Keller. I'm emotionally unstable and disgusted with the ways of the world, and that's why I'm a songwriter. This song's about both. Do you really feel proud flag, with your boot on your brother's, your sister's back, with your hand on a Bible and your head in the sand. Well, do you really feel proud when you're holding a flag? Well, it ain't up to God, ain't up to no man. You were here long before you were born, my friend. Maybe we fell together in a Permian rain. Now we're trying to make sense of Anthropocene pain. All the tears we meant to cry manifested as a rope. I keep praying there's a river in the valley below. So do you really feel proud when you're holding a flag, with your boot on your brother's and your sister's back, with your hand on a rifle and your head in the sand? Well, do you really feel proud when you're holding a flag? All the tears we meant to cry, like bullets ringing through the night, in one ear and out the other, might be the better way to hide. All the tears we meant to cry, like bullets ringing through the night, in one ear and out the other, might be the better way to die. In one ear and out the other, might be the better way to die.
That's Do You Really Feel Proud from Kyle Keller on Amplified, and Where the Pines Touch Heaven started things off. So, Kyle, you told us a little bit about yourself in between songs, but tell us more for those that are just hearing about you. Where do you come from?
Well, I was born in Saginaw, Michigan, and I left Saginaw, well, technically Cairo is where I was at in Michigan. Born in Saginaw, left there at a young age. My parents split up around the time I was 12, and my dad moved to South Georgia for work. And so after about a year of him moving down, I followed him down to a little town called Nashville, which is near Valdosta. Not to be mistaken with Nashville, Tennessee in any way whatsoever. It's very different. But folks sometimes tend to ignore the Georgia part when they ask where I'm from. I'm like, yeah, Nashville, Georgia. And they're like, oh, that's so cool, you're from Nashville. But in fact, it's not the Nashville they thought.
Yeah, there's a Gainesville, Georgia, too.
There is, yeah.
How did you end up in Gainesville, Florida?
I've been in Gainesville about 10 years now. 10 years this year. It was 2016 when I moved down. And there's a couple of reasons I moved down here. I would say, obviously, the music scene and having more places to play music, because there's really nothing of the sort in Nashville. At all, unless you want to play music at the Cadillac Ranch, which I wouldn't recommend. But other than that, the other thing that I do is a lot of fossil hunting and treasure hunting and things like that. And that's a big thing that brought me down to Florida. It's a great state for that. And there's a Florida Fossil Permit Program, and you can get a permit through the museum to collect vertebrate fossils on state lands and things like that. So that was a big part as well. That's the other side of what I do is I make internet content about that sort of thing, educational and entertaining stuff.
What inspires your music?
I would say that does a bit. The concept of storytelling. You would think the two don't have a lot in common, but at the very heart, treasure hunting and learning about the planet's prehistoric past, and also digging deeper in yourself and writing songs does have a lot in common. And the overarching theme is the concept of storytelling. whether you're, telling a story of the planet or telling the story of yourself or the human condition or something that you see. And I think that's what I truly love about all of it, is at the end of the day is the storytelling aspect of it.
Right. And all of the genres kind of have storytelling involved. Is there one that you ascribe to more country, folk, Americana?
Yeah, that's pretty perfect, actually, country, folk, Americana. I love artists like Townes Van Zandt and Guy Clark and John Prine, that type of stuff.
Well, tell us about this next one.
Let's see. There's No Highway. This is a Nashville, Georgia song for you.
Okay.
Mind if I tune a little bit, maybe, while I tell you a story? So There's No Highway is based off of Highway 129 that runs through Nashville. And the reason this song is based on that is because so many of my memories growing up, at least the portion after leaving Michigan, is centered around Highway 129 between Nashville and the Florida state line. It's not too terribly far. It's about 45 minutes from the state line. And in Nashville, there's so much nothing to do that you just got to get creative to find things to do. So one thing that we would do is take my first vehicle ever, which was a 1991 Geo Tracker, onto the high school track in the middle of the night and drive around in circles and pretend we were in a race car whilst my friend behind me plays a didgeridoo and another friend plays a ukulele. And it's this just crazy, weird whole time. I don't even understand what was going in our heads, but like I said, boredom.
Tell me there are videos.
I don't think there are videos of that time period of my life. Thank goodness.
Well, maybe when the movie gets made.
When the movie gets made, it would be great to tell the whole story of Nashville, Georgia one day. Here's what you do. That among other things, and that among more dangerous things that I'll fail to mention today. But that sort of stuff.
That's the kind of thing you can come out to a show and find out about.
100%. Yeah. There is another story linked to this that I do tell at shows that I probably shouldn't tell on the radio. But if you want to come to a show and hear about it, that would be the time. But there's all this crazy stuff, and my style of writing doesn't necessarily lend itself to, hey guys, we were driving my Geo Tracker on the high school track in the middle of the night and literally throwing that into a song. So I wanted to write a song that was more associated with the nostalgia of that time period of my life and thinking back on home and growing up, and also thinking about wishing I had spent a little bit more time thinking about how fleeting all of that was, Maybe that doesn't sound fun to a lot of people, but it was fun.
It's relatable, that's for sure.
And I do wish at the time that I had spent a little bit more time thinking about, like I said, just how fleeting all of that was. So I wrote a song about it called There's No Highway. Like I said, centered around Highway 129. And I'll sing you this heartfelt tune, and just know that while I sing it for you, in my mind I see my friend Kelby playing the didgeridoo behind me on the high school track in my Geo Tracker.
All right, so let's visualize that. Here's Kyle Keller with There's No Highway on Amplified.
Well, there ain't no highway like 129, and I'd run it from Nashville to the Florida state line. Well, I had no will in my heart to be tamed, so I'd roll my windows down in the rain. And sometimes I go back just to take it all in, and I think about me and my buddies, how we'd howl with the wind. Never knew we were running out of time. There's no highway like 129. And I remember the smell while the wildflowers grow, and how the river's black water would ease my soul. Well, I would jump fences and never look back, 'cause everything that I wanted was all that I had. And sometimes I go back just to take it all in, sink my body down in the river with nothing but my bare skin. Never knew I'd leave it behind. There's no highway like 129. So sometimes when I just need some place to hide, well, I'll pack up my bags and drive out of my mind. 'Cause there's only one place that'll treat me just right. Well, there ain't no highway like 129. There ain't no highway like 129. And sometimes I go back just to take it all in, sink my body down in the river with nothing but my bare skin. There were gunshots in every stop sign. There's no highway like 129. There's no highway like 129. There's no highway like 129.
Well, that song explains a little bit why I love Georgia so much, and Nashville, even with all her faults. Big highway. So that little stretch between Nashville and Florida, that's my stomping grounds. Now a song about my love for where I'm at currently, the state of Florida. And the title, Torn and Paved, maybe you can piece together some of what the song might be about based on that title. But I think most of us are no stranger to seeing new housing developments and shopping complexes being put in every single day, all over the state, rapidly and more rapidly, I think, as time goes on. And so I wrote a song in protest about it called Torn and Paved, about the destruction of our natural world, both here and beyond. South by the old Gulf Coast, there's a big old hole in the ground. And deep below that cold blue water, there's some treasure to be found.
Well, the Spanish moss hangs over native graves being torn and paved. To make $8, they do it all the way in the Everglades and all the way up to the mountain holler. And I used to hear the ghost of Osceola on the Seminole wind and the sandhill cry. Well, now I just hear the roll of the highway and roadkill neath a campaign sign. Well, the Spanish moss hangs over native graves being torn and paved. To make $8, they do it all the way in the Everglades and all the way up to the mountain holler. The Spanish moss hangs over native graves being torn and paved. To make $8, they do it all the way in the Everglades and all the way up to the mountain holler, all the way up to the mountain holler, all the way up to the mountain holler.
That's Torn and Paved from Kyle Keller on Amplified. There's No Highway ahead of that. I know you've got 2 full-length albums available digitally online and a couple of singles, including a live version of Torn and Paved. But
Correct.
So far, none of the other songs you've played, I haven't found them online. So tell us, what's the story? Are they brand new? Are they recorded, not released? What's going on?
The first 2 are pretty new. There's No Highway has been around for a while. It's unreleased. They're all, besides Torn and Paved, currently unreleased. So the only other time to hear them would be to search videos. There are a couple videos of these floating around, or come to a live show, or wait for the next record, which is my hope is by the end of this year to have the next record out. By the title of Where the Pines Touch Heaven. A lot of themes surrounding where I grew up on this record.
I know some of the places that you've played in Gainesville, but share for the folks, like how far and wide do you travel and play?
I've been trying to ramp up the touring a lot more over the last couple years. So my buddy Rambler Kane out of Jacksonville and I have done a couple runs to New Orleans and back, which have been very fun. My buddy Matt Woods and I did a Midwest run last May, so we got to play up in Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky a little bit too. Started in Nashville, and we're working on another Midwest tour in June currently. So I'm just trying to get out further and wider. I haven't gone much further than that, you know. I've been as far north as Mass City, Michigan, which is in the UP on the western side, way up in the middle of nowhere, which was a blast. But I have not hit the west really at all. I've never played further west than New Orleans. Unless you count when I was 19 years old, I took a trip with my dad to San Antonio and busked on the street walk there, or on the river walk. But other than that, I haven't been further west than that. So that's that's high on the list too, is getting to Texas, Colorado, that general region.
Right. It's got to be interesting getting out there and making recordings and all that stuff. Do you have a group of musicians that you play with, or just solo?
It's solo most of the time.
Yeah.
I love playing with other folks, but it's very easy to drag myself around the country and play shows. Yeah. Where I just have to check with myself. Hey, are you open these days? Yeah. Okay, go ahead. You know, it's tough when you start getting a bunch of people together and trying to make schedules match.
Right.
We're all busy. We're all working, stuff like that.
But like you said, you've been in Gainesville for 10 years, yeah. And I think it's starting, I don't know if you'd say it's starting to come to fruition. I see you pop up at different events and things around town, and you're kind of like in the mix of the singer-songwriters that are so what make Gainesville, Gainesville.
Definitely. Yeah. No, I've been, that's a big part of what's kept me here is just being well accepted by the community here. Everyone's so nice and so supportive. And I've been very few other places where it's felt that way. It's just there's some special stuff going on here, and the people are special, and we need that these days. We need people who care.
Yeah. Well, where's the best place that people can find out more about you and get some of your music and find out where you're going to be playing next?
I would recommend, if you want to hear some recordings, go to my Bandcamp profile. Search Kyle Keller on there, and you can download the albums there, I think for free, unless I have it set for a price. I don't think I do.
And if there's a price, it's good because it goes right to the artist.
This is very true, but it's what's nice about Bandcamp is they take a small cut most of the time, but they do certain like Bandcamp Fridays and stuff like that where you get 100% proceeds. But that would be a great place to listen. And otherwise, just if following on social media, Facebook, Kyle Keller, Instagram, Kyle Keller Songs. I don't have a formal website, but I'm constantly posting where I'll be and what's going on my profile. So that's kind of the best place to see where I'll be next.
All right. Well, we've got time for one more. So with Kyle Keller, this is Georgia for the Day on Amplified.
Well, I'm heading up to Georgia for the day, and I'm gonna go forget my name. Well, I didn't have no plans, I just had to get away. So I'm heading up to Georgia for the day. And I'm gonna take a ride down Outlaw Road. I'm gonna find a way to ease my soul. 'Cause when that dust goes flying, there's nowhere else I wanna go. Oh, I'm gonna take a ride down Outlaw Road. And Lord, I'm gonna smell the dogwood flowers. I see them growing on the countryside. Then I'm gonna jump in that old Swanee River. Gonna stay out of my mind for a little while. Well, it's gonna take my blues away. It's gonna take my blues away. Now that I'm here, I think I'll stay, and I'll live out every one of my last days. under them old pine trees is where they'll put my grave. Oh, now that I'm here, I think I'll stay. Oh, now that I'm here, I think I'll stay.
That's Georgia for the Day from Kyle Keller on Amplified. You can find out more about Amplified and see past episodes at wuft.org/amplified. I'm Glenn Richards. Thank you to Kyle Keller for performing, and thank you for checking us out. We'll see you next time.
Solid.
And I remember the smell while the wildflowers grow, and how the river's black water would ease my soul. Well, I would jump fences and never look back, 'cause everything that I wanted was all that I had.